All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Making It Keto. And today, guys, we're going to be making a cheesecake. Not just any cheesecake. We're going to be making a cinnamon roll cheesecake. You guys are going to love it. Stick around.
Why you wanna run away? Why you gotta be afraid? I wish I could make you stay, 'cause baby I love you. Why you tryna break us up when I'm tryna build it up? I wish I could make you stop, 'cause baby I love you.
All right, guys, let's get this thing started. So we're going to start off with our base. This will be our crust for our cheesecake. We're going to be using the Ratio brand, the Keto granola mixture by Ratio. I found this in my Walmart, guys, but if you can't find this, you can just use almond flour for substitute. All right, so we'll be adding in 1.5 cups of the granola mixture, and we're going to go ahead and process it down, but we don't want to process it too much because you will turn it into almond butter if you process too far. So we just want to turn it into a fine powder. And once we do that, we're going to go ahead and add in 1/4 cup melted butter. We're going to go ahead and add this in, and this is what's going to bring it together where we can make our crust. All right, and once we do that, we're going to give it a good mix, and we're going to keep mixing everything until we get it like a sticky kind of dough. Not complete dough, but just enough to stick together. And then we're going to get out an 8-inch springform pan. We're going to dump all the contents in there, and then we're going to use our spoon or either our hands, and we're going to press it out all the way to the edges, guys. Just make sure it gets to the edges. It don't have to ride up the side of the pan or anything like that. We just want to get it to the edges. And guys, I really recommend using a springform pan to do this because it's easier to get the cheesecake out after you're done. All right, after we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and sit this inside our freezer for about 30 minutes. And this will allow us to get the cheesecake filling portion of this completed. So we're going to go ahead and add in our softened cream cheese and make sure it's softened, guys. It just makes it a lot easier like this. If it's not softened, you guys, you're going to end up fighting it. So we're going to go ahead and add in our 1.5 blocks, which is like 12 ounces cream cheese. Let's go ahead and get that added in. Going to go ahead and give it a quick mix. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put in our Greek yogurt, and I'm using the, like I said, guys, the Keto, the Ratio brand Keto friendly yogurt. It's the vanilla flavor. You can use whatever Greek yogurt you want. I prefer this one because this is the one I like. So guys, just use the one that you like. I'll be putting this whole container in, which is about 5 ounces or 150 grams. So we're gonna go ahead and put this in. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and add in our sweetener. I'm using allulose, guys. You can use whatever sweetener that you want. And we'll be adding 1/2 cup of this into it. All right, next we'll be adding in our cinnamon. So guys, I'll be adding in a teaspoon, but of course you can add in as much as you want depending on how cinnamony, if that's a word, you want your cheesecake to be. So what we're going to do now is crack our eggs into a separate bowl and give it a quick whisk before we pour it into our mixture completed, and that'll be 2 eggs, guys. Give this a light whisk, just like so. And before we add our eggs, we're going to go ahead and get this kind of mixed. All right, so we're going to go ahead and add our eggs in at this point. So also, guys, make sure that your eggs are room temperature. Everything mixes a lot better when it's at room temperature, especially with things like cheesecakes. So let's make sure our eggs are at a room temperature. All right, now we mix. As you can see how easy that mixed, that's because everything was at room temperature, guys. So keep that in mind when you do this. You want to plan it, have your thing sitting out maybe an hour before you start making the cheesecake. All right, now, so we're going to set our cream cheese mixture to the side, and we're going to go ahead and make our cinnamon layer, our cinnamon roll layer for the cheesecake. So we're going to go ahead and add in some of the swerve brown sugar, and we're going to use a half a cup of that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and add in our cinnamon now, and like I said, I'm going to do 2 teaspoons, but like I said, if you like it more cinnamony, if that's a word, you can add more. So, but I'm going to do 2 teaspoons. And lastly, we're going to add in 1/4 cup of some butter, melted. And now we're going to mix it all up. And look at that, guys. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. And this, like I said, guys, this is our cinnamon roll layer, and it's going to be amazing. All right, our crust has been in the freezer for 30 minutes. Now we're going to go ahead and start putting everything together. So right now I'm going to add in half of the cream cheese. And what we want to do is spread that around, guys, just like so. And now we're just going to go ahead and add in, dab it all over our cinnamon filling. And once we got the cinnamon filling in, guys, we'll go ahead and add the rest of our cream cheese over the top. All right, guys, so now that we have everything together, this is going to go into the oven. So go ahead and preheat your oven to 265 degrees. And we're going to bake this for approximately an hour to an hour and 10 minutes, or until you see that it's kind of still jiggly in the middle. And I'll show you that, guys, when I pull it out of the oven. So let's go ahead and put this in the oven and get it baking for that hour to hour and 10 minutes. And I'll be right back. So guys, while our cheesecake is in the oven, we have approximately an hour to play with, so we're not going to waste that time. We're going to go ahead and make an icing to go on the top of our cheesecake, guys. You're going to love this. This is going to take it to the next level. Let's do it. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and make our icing. So this is just going to be a few ingredients. So what we have here, I'm using some of the Lecanto's powdered erythritol. This works better for the icings because it don't have granules to where it doesn't break down. So with the powdered erythritol, it's easier to make icings and kind of stuff like that with. So we're going to go ahead and use the powdered version of the Lecanto's erythritol. All right, so we're going to start by putting a cup and a half into a bowl. So a cup and a half right there. Now we're going to add our cinnamon. I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of the cinnamon. And now we're gonna add in approximately 6 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. So guys, what I like to do is I like to add in a couple tablespoons at a time. So I add in about 3 there to see how thick it is before it gets, because you want to get it to your consistency. So we're going to add in until we get it to where we want it at. And that's the texture I'm looking for right there, guys. All right, guys, our cheesecake is out of the oven, and this is what it looked like. And this is what I was showing you about the jiggliness. See, it's still jiggle there. That's fine. It's supposed to be like that. We're going to let this cheesecake sit in the refrigerator for approximately no less than 4 hours. I let mine sit for 8, about 4 hours at the minimum. All right, after it's been in the refrigerator, guys, we're going to take a spatula. We're going to loosen up the edges, and don't worry if it cracks on the edges, guys. We're going to put icing on the top of it, so everything is good. All right, guys, so from here, we're going to go ahead and add our icing on to this cheesecake. And as you guys can see, and as you guys already knew from my previous videos of cake making and stuff like that, I am not the best person at spreading icing. I am not about that life. So I did the best that I can, and I encourage you guys to do the same. If you're a big cinnamon and sugar lover fan or cinnamon roll lover before keto, I highly encourage you to try this. It will not disappoint, guys. It is extra creamy. It hits the spots that you're looking for it to hit when you're looking for something sweet or cheesecake idea. So guys, I highly recommend you to try this. All right, that is it for the video. This was another great recipe, another great idea, another day making keto easy. You already know the motto over here. We making keto easy by making everything keto. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.